Broadcast will start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
The views and opinions expressed in
Good morning, Stocktonians, and welcome to another episode of Tales and Tips. I am so honored to have with me two ambassadors from the Alzheimer's Association of Northern California and Northern Nevada. We have Cheryl Schrock and Margaret Chappell. Before we go and dive in and talk about Alzheimer's, I'm just going to give a brief reminder to those of you out there that like to play golf that the Lions Club is hosting a golf tournament on Friday, September 14th at Swenson Park, and it's to help to fundraise for Friends of Swenson. And so for those of you out there that would like to participate, there is still space for teams available, and we also need raffle prizes. And please contact me personally. You can reach me at my email, purplejulied@yahoo.com, or on my cell, 662-0039. And please come out. Help us have fun. Help us fundraise for Friends of Swenson. All right. And with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Cheryl, and let's start talking about Alzheimer's.
Well, first of all, I'm so proud. Let's talk about Stockton and the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which is on October 13th at Weber's Point. I think that's Stockton's main way about bringing awareness and education to the community. And Margaret, we're very proud to have her as our chair of the Stockton Walk for the second year. I know, fantastic.
She did such a great job last year.
I mean, we've got an amazing group, and we're so proud of the work and stuff that we've done and the infrastructure and foundation that we've built for the past several years to a disease that's obviously epidemic in so many ways. I mean, if you want to talk about Alzheimer's disease, I can give you some statistics which are kind of scary. I mean, Alzheimer's is considered a global epidemic, but the thing that always hits me the hardest is when you talk about Alzheimer's on a national level. You always say it's the sixth leading cause of death, and it's the only cause in the top 10 that doesn't have a cure or a medicine of any type that's going to help it or slow the progression. And that's ugly.
That's scary.
Exactly. It kills more than prostate cancer and breast cancer combined. And we hear about those all the time. Yeah, and so here's Alzheimer's disease, sixth leading cause of death. But if you want to bring it home, when you talk about the state of California for the past couple years, when we talk about Alzheimer's disease, we say it's the fifth leading cause of death in California, which is awful because that's more than the sixth leading cause of death. But since our new statistics from last year is now the third leading cause of death in the state of California.
Wow.
So 1 in 3 Californians are going to die of either Alzheimer's or dementia. So if you really want to take a look at it, there's 3 of us sitting here at this table. One of us possibly going to die of the disease. Maybe it's me. My dad has Alzheimer's disease. His older sister died of it, and we believe my grandmother had it. She didn't get a proper diagnosis before she had a stroke. So if it's me, not so good. But even if the two of you don't have any history of the disease in your family, or really don't know anybody who's possibly been touched by the disease, you don't get off the hook. You'll end up being caretakers, because somebody with Alzheimer's disease needs 24-hour, 7 days a week care. And that's what, 4 or more people that takes on an 8-hour shift to take care of that particular person. So you two will end up being caregivers in some way, or knowing somebody that has the disease. And to me, that's incredibly, incredibly scary. 1 in 3 is just...
that's a huge amount of
yeah,
people.
it's too much.
And not only that, the caregivers often get sick and have complications themselves from the 24/7 care. So if you are a caregiver caring for somebody with a disease, you need respite, you need help. And actually, part of the funds that we raise through WALK, Alzheimer's Association, our area, does have respite grants, $4,000, where you could apply for a grant and get assistance through an adult day program, or even respite care at a community I work for Brookdale, Kettlemen Lane, and we're committed to the Alzheimer's Association as a national team. And our team, we're a memory care community, and our team is committed to raising $5,000 for this year's walk. And
that's awesome.
Brookdale as a company, they're looking at, I think their goal is $1 million nationally.
That's phenomenal. That's huge. And we should talk about specifically, I know you mentioned briefly where part of those dollars go, but we should talk about that. And I know you said this weekend there's also a walk in Modesto.
Oh, yeah.
We should highlight that, too.
The Modesto Walk to End Alzheimer's is actually this weekend at Graceda Park. And it's like, the countdown is on. They're doing an amazingly well. They're at 85%, I think, of their goal right now, and they're hoping to raise $150,000. It's a great group of people. It's a wonderful community, and we're really proud of the work we've done there as well. So, come if you know.
And is that Saturday?
It's Saturday. Registration starts at 8. The program starts at 9. By 9:30, you'll be out on the route. We've got a 3-mile and a 1-mile. We've got entertainment. We've got wonderful stuff going on around the routes. We've got a beautiful program. We've got a lot of amazing folks there supporting the walk, different companies and stuff like that, that kind of the companies that support our walks, whether it's Modesto or Stockton, are amazing folks, because they're there to give, the information that folks, the caretakers possibly, everybody needs to help them in their lives as they go through their Alzheimer's journey. So whether you need a help, in-home help, or whether you need a facility, or whether you need insurance, or whether you have all these questions, and we're hoping to be able to educate everybody on the day of. So it's about education and awareness, right? And the people in the community that are there are ones that care, that want to make a difference, that care about their community, and want those dollars and that impression to be made locally, so that people know that Modesto or Stockton cares about Alzheimer's, and they personally are taking the power to themselves, and they're going to do something about it as a community.
Awesome. Now, how can people sign up for either one of those events? Mm-hmm. And so the Modesto dollars, where will those dollars go? Where will the Stockton dollars go?
Well, Modesto would be Stanislaus County, of course, and Stockton, San Joaquin. Of course, there's certain amounts that go towards research and stuff, and that doesn't happen locally. We want research to happen worldwide. We want to go wherever there is to find that cure, but it makes that footprint in that particular county. So that's obviously real important. If you want to find any of the walks, you go to act.alz.org, and with Modesto /Modesto 2018, and with Stockton /Stockton 2018.
Awesome. And I love that every year it's growing. I participated when it was at Victory Park, and now that it's at Weber Point, and it's awesome to see more and more people embracing and supporting this, especially with the unfortunate news that the number of people affected are increasing.
And I tell everybody, including our Stockton folks, is that I am so impressed with Stockton as a community, whether it's the Rotaries or the different clubs or the different senior facilities, or whether it's the organizations, governmental organizations. Everybody in Stockton really works together, and what I see, try to do what's best for the people. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of politics and not a lot of game playing. Everybody helps each other out. Everybody is supportive. They support each other at events. And as someone who works in 3 different communities, I'm really proud to be part of the Stockton one, because that's what I see, a lot of pride in their community and actually wanting to make a difference, and people are stepping up the plate and doing it. They're not
awesome.
They're walking and talking, and they're doing the job.
Awesome. And we should give a shout out to North Rotary, because I know they've consistently had a huge team mm-hmm. year after year. And I, as a Rotarian and also a Lion, I'd like to give a personal challenge to both of those service groups. And even if you can't personally participate, you can do a virtual walk. Do you mm-hmm. want to talk about that?
I think the Rotary in Lodi has a virtual team. They have something going on and physically can't be there, but they formed a team and are raising money to support the Stockton Walk. So, that's something even if you can't come out, please go to the website, sign up, or make a donation, even a general donation, or support somebody you know on one of the teams. If you go to the website, act.alz.org/Stockton, you'll see a list of the teams and the people. I know Henry Peralta is one of our top fundraisers. Yeah, I know.
He's been sending out flyers. He sent a message to me. Shout out to Henry.
I know Henry is awesome.
He's awesome.
He's one of the top fundraisers. He belongs not only to the Hispanic Chamber, but he's a part of different Rotaries and stuff like that.
And Stockton Chamber. And
Yep,
he's all
yep,
over. He's
yep,
a great humanitarian.
Yeah, he's an amazing man. So
Yeah, we're currently at 62,000, Cheryl, and our walk is October 13th.
Yep.
So we still have 5 weeks
Yep.
before walk to get up to our $155,000 goal. So there's still time for sponsorships. There's
Yep.
day of sponsorships. There's still time for tribute signs. There's still time for just forming a team and getting your team, because North Stockton Rotary, they've just signed up a couple weeks ago and they already have more than $2,000.
yeah,
raised.
they've upped their goal a couple times already, and Frosty is one of the main guys. He's amazing, but they're an amazing group that every year do amazing things, and we have to also give a shout out to Leslie Edmond
Yes.
and the Central Valley,
Yes.
Asian
Chamber. And she's also amazing. She's also everywhere.
Oh my gosh, she's not only on our committee, but that chamber every year continues to come out in full force and do amazing things. And we're so lucky to have so many organizations within the Stockton community that are doing amazing things on behalf of Stockton. I mean, the new thing is like every 65 seconds, somebody is diagnosed with the disease.
Wow.
I mean, come on.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. We got to take action here.
Do you want to talk about symptoms of the disease?
Well, that's a little bit harder because, I mean, I think when you talk about stuff like that, I'm a fundraiser. I'm not a social worker or anything like that does that. But what I will tell you, it's really super important to get a definitive diagnosis, to go to your doctor, because there's so many things, whether your medications are messed up, blood sugars, or diabetes, all this kind of stuff are doing some things to make it look like you may have some of those issues. You really need to go to a professional and talk to them and let them know, see what's going on. And if you have questions, of course, one of the things that the money that the walk goes to pay for is our 24-hour hotline. So for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can call 1-800-272-3900. I mean,
That's awesome.
They do over 300,000 calls annually. And I can tell you, as a daughter of somebody with Alzheimer's disease, I personally used everything they have to offer, whether it was Alz Connect, whether it was the local education, whether it's the 800 number. I personally used all these things as a daughter of somebody with Alzheimer's before I went to work for the organization. That's why I'm fearless and nonstop when it comes to supporting what they do, because I know their hearts are, and what they want to do is pure and good, and just an amazing company doing what's right for everybody. But that 800 number, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That's awesome.
You can call and ask any question you want about anything, whether you're thinking, gosh, this is happening, what should I do? You'll talk to master's degree and above clinicians, nurses, doctors, attorneys, professionals who are experts on the disease, and they will come up with what you need as an individual and give you the next steps on what you need as far as your journey. So if you're thinking that you might have some symptoms or stuff, I would start there and go to professional and then get a proper diagnosis.
And I just want to say Cheryl is responsible for 3 walks, and she is in 3 different counties, I think, a different county every day of the week. And she is the Energizer Bunny. And I'm telling you, her passion for the disease, and just really, she has done so much for Stockton since she's been our walk partner. And I don't know where I would be without her, where the Stockton Walk would be without her. And I just also want to say something about Leslie as well. Leslie is also our team retention chair, and as you know, teams that come back raise more money. And so this year there's been an effort with Leslie and her team Doris Sally is one of them, and Doris herself is already a grand champion.
Oh, I know. That's right.
And they have a visual at every meeting. We have a balloon, a purple balloon and an orange balloon for returning teams and new teams. And so every week that's growing. And thanks to the work of Leslie and her team, because that's really what's important, is to get teams registered. It's never too early to start fundraising, and to keep it going.
Yeah, let me see. I can do a shout out right now. The top participants so far
Yeah.
is right now. Number 1 is Henry Peralta at 1740. Next is Teresa
Yay,
Mandela
Henry.
at
Oh,
1700. I know. Frosty Gilkey at 1550. Doris Sally at 1112.75, and Denise Lee is coming up at 807. Come on, Denise, I know you can get a grand champion here. That's the top
What's
5.
a grand champion? What level?
A champion, we have 2 levels that are honorary levels. First is a champion level, which is $500, and we have this really cool medal that looks like something the Olympian would wear, that when you become that level and you come and you register, they ring cowbells, they make a big deal of you, and they present you with this medal. So that's a thing of pride to wear. Then after that is a grand champion, where you have not only a special shirt, but you have this medal. And there will be a special tent at Walk just for the champions and the grand champions, where there's special food, there's special gifts,
Right.
special picture opportunities and stuff. Just thanking the people that have gone above and beyond in that particular area.
And how much is the grand champion? What do you need to
1,000,
reach?
over 1,000. And then let's talk out the top teams right now. Is Summerford Place at 6,800.
Yay.
Go Peggy
Oh, wow.
Massey and that
But we
amazing
need to
team.
up our-
I know.
we need
Brookdale
to
better
up
up their
our-
game.
up our-
CVACC, which is Leslie Edmonds at 3334. The Rotary Club of North Stockton Rotary 2580. There we
Yay.
go. Team Haropa, which is Henry and the Hispanic Chamber, that's 1900. And Team of San Joaquin, and that's Teresa, right?
Teresa Sherman.
Terry
Awesome.
Shermack. And they're at 1834. And the last couple of years, they've been the top team, and they've usually gone around $7,000.
And how many years in Stockton have we had the walk? What year is this?
This is number 6 number 6.
All right.
Yeah.
Year 6.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff going on. And there's not too late to sign up. Go to the website, form a team, or just just make a donation. Or if you want to show your support as a business, we have opportunities for tribute signs. One of the ones that we still haven't sold, but I really want somebody
We'll
to
get
take
it sold.
I said, well, we need to hurry on that one. Is our Promise Garden sponsorship, and that's $2,500 for that. And to me, if I was a sponsor, that's the one that I would want, and it's for this particular reason. Anybody that has gone to the walk, one of the main things is that flower ceremony, are those flowers. And anybody who's not familiar with that, there are 4 flower colors. There's orange, and so everybody that comes to the walk gets one of these flowers. If you carry an orange flower, that means you care about the disease and you want to make a difference. So you carry an orange flower. If you carry a yellow flower, you are a family member or a caretaker of somebody with the disease. Like right now, my dad's still living, so I would carry a yellow flower. Then if you carry a blue flower, you are somebody that has the disease. And if you carry a purple flower, you've lost somebody to disease. So we have a special ceremony that has these flowers, but if you look on the 11 or 1,200 people that we expect there, every single person will have one of these flowers, and that'll show you where somebody is with their Alzheimer's journey. But a special flower that we're having first time was last year, is this year, is we have a single white flower, and the single white flower is symbolic to finding the first survivor, because the Alzheimer's Association is dedicated to finding that first survivor of Alzheimer's disease, and that's what we're working really hard towards. We have a bracelet that says 2025, because we're really working hard to make a difference to that point. So
And right now, there's nothing preventatively that you can do either, which is sad to me.
Well, sad to me. We always
It's
think,
tragic.
a good lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, eating well, exercise, and keeping good care of yourself. I think that's good for everybody, good for your body, good for your brain. But
And different conferences that I've attended and whatnot, exercises like the one single thing even people living with the disease, or even
Good.
people living with mild cognitive impairment. Exercise is better than any drug they currently have on the market for your brain health. So if anything, get out there and exercise. I tell myself that every day. And
I'm glad
I've yet to do it. But
you say that.
yeah, I do, I guess, in a way. But it's exercise, and what's good for the heart is good for the brain. So, again, there's just so much we don't know about this disease. It was underfunded for so many years. And we finally, this year through AIM, have really escalated the funds at the federal level. And thank you to our local AIM advocacy person is Terry Simmons. And do you want to talk a little bit about Washington? Cheryl also went to Washington and advocacy to really, and it is really truly the only bipartisan issue right now. I believe.
know.
And everybody is dedicated, because it is going to be expensive. It is going to bankrupt our country if we don't do something about it.
I mean, they say, they say it's a bipartisan disease, and we talk about purple. Of course, the color with the Alzheimer's Association is purple, and why you put blue and red together, and what do you do? You make purple. I mean, it's
perfect.
I know, it is perfect. It's like, Alzheimer's is the most expensive disease in America to take care of, and 1 in every 5 Medicare dollars is spent on taking care of somebody with Alzheimer's disease. It's like we're going to bankrupt Medicare unless we do something about it. I mean, it's going to increase with $5.3 trillion over 25 years. I mean, this is scary news. So what we're doing is we just got $425 million just passed for the year 2019 to go towards research. And that puts us at a place, the $1 billion mark, where we can actually do some good as far as getting cures and stuff like that, but again, we talk about early diagnosis. I mean, it would save so much dollars, and we have something going on right now, and it's called the Bold Infrastructure for Alzheimer's Act, and it's to create Alzheimer's public health infrastructure across the country, and that is so important, and I know that Congressman Dunham is a co-sponsor of that, and we're urging all other legislators in the area to support that.
It'd be great if McNerney and Eggman would support.
Yeah, absolutely. So the BOLD Act is coming up, and we're urging support of that. Again, we have something about the palliative care and Hospice Education and Training Act, and it's to ensure adequate and all well-trained palliative care workforce, because again, that's important too. The average monthly per person health care cost for a person with dementia at the end of their life is just huge. So having that kind of setup would be so important too, as well as as a daughter of somebody who went through palliative care and is now in hospice. I really, to understand the importance and what that does not only for the families but the patient at that particular time is so important. So this would be creating the infrastructure to be able to make that possible for all the people that are going to be dealing with disease. I mean, so fighting Alzheimer's and lives, it actually saves money when we get the right treatment, the early diagnosis, and of course the palliative care. So that will save money as far as Medicare and stuff like that. So that's why that's important.
And in my experience, the palliative care and hospice care, it does not shorten the life of somebody with Alzheimer's disease. If anything, it provides more comfort and quality of life and more social engagement. Because when you think about the disruption, if they should have to constantly go to the hospital because they can't express exactly what's wrong, and that back and forth is almost traumatic, and then they have to readjust every time. And working in an Alzheimer's care community for many years, as I have, I've just seen just the better quality of life, the better, there's less anxiety, less issues with a person living with a disease, because we are able to keep them comfortable in their own home, whether it's in their personal home or whether it's in our, care community.
I mean, when this is awful, but it's the hardest thing a family has had to go through, and we kept my dad at home for over 6 years.
Wow.
And it got to a point where he needed 24/7 care, and we needed to put him in a place, and we finally found this wonderful place for him to be. And he had been in palliative care, just, you know, and then when we finally put him in hospice because he stopped eating, he actually rallied when he first went into hospice care and did better for several weeks.
Wow.
And he's holding his own, but we're just making him comfortable because it's not a good place to be, but we know he's as comfortable as he can be. So, I mean, it's so important that the families and people are aware of that possibility when it comes to that particular part in a patient's life. So,
and it's hard to find Alzheimer's care. Not a lot of the care facilities can provide that level. It's so much more demanding.
Yep.
And I'm sure Mary can talk about that.
It is, and it is also very expensive. You know, I pride myself on having an excellent, you know, memory care community with where we do the very best for our residents every day, and that social engagement piece is so important. And Brookdale being a national company, they have what they call Clare Bridge programming and a daily path, which, you know, they have the resources for the research to make sure that our residents are following on, you know, a daily path. So they're stimulated with more exercise in the morning, more brain games and whatnot, and through the morning before lunch, and then you do your more creative pieces in the early afternoon, and then you kind of wind down the day with music, and then more, so it's creating a special path for their brain that their brains can handle, because at the end of the day, when they're tired, we don't want to ask them to use their best thinking skills. So that's when you do more music, more automatic. So, I mean, Brookdale has a lot of great programs like that throughout. And, you know, it's hard. It's the hardest but most rewarding. And it's my favorite thing to do is care for those with this disease. It really is. It's hard, but I love it.
Yeah, and I've watched their team in action, and it's really amazing. And I'm so glad I had that kind of knowledge and stuff when I did find the thing. But the thing most important is there are so many people who may fall through the cracks, who may not be able to afford a Brookdale, or like my particular family, we're paying out of pocket for my dad's care. And it's unfortunate that it's taken all my family's finances, you know, everything that we thought they did right, they saved, they had annuities, they did everything right, and they're going to end up with basically all the money's gone to take care of my dad, which, you know, it's work, you know, you're taking care of dad, so that's a good thing. But there are families who maybe don't have the ability to do that, so that's why it's even more important. So we have like this bold infrastructure for Alzheimer's Act, where we've created a foundation and a plan to help those people who may not have the ability to do something. I mean, carrying somebody with Alzheimer's is $10 billion in additional health care costs every year. 1 in 4 hospitalizations can be preventable when we have a good infrastructure. Alzheimer's imposes a significant cost on federal and state budgets. More than 2/3 of the health and long-term care costs of caring for those with Alzheimer's are borne by Medicare and Medicaid. I mean, nearly $1 in 5 dollars spent by Medicare is spent on somebody with Alzheimer's and other dementia. And by the impact is going to grow by 2050, that 1 in every 3 Medicare dollars is going to pay for Alzheimer's or dementia. We're not going to be able to, you know, the infrastructure is not going to be able to survive.
That, yeah.
So we have to, you know, get these infrastructures with public health, get the BOLD Act, get the palliative care and hospice thing, so we'll have the ability to take care of the people as that age goes up and people are going to need the care and stuff like that. We need to be ready, because I don't even want to think about what would happen.
And that's why it is important at the local level, like teams, like County Department of Aging and the Ombudsman, they do support their team, San Joaquin, and they do know what's coming. And I do believe in our county they are preparing and providing resources for families, you know, because it is important and they are committed to the cause and fundraising. for the association. So,
I mean, here's just a little thing. It says, what does the Bold Infrastructure for Alzheimer's Act do? It establishes Alzheimer's centers of excellence around the country to expand and promote innovative and effective Alzheimer's interventions, provides funding the state, local, and tribal public health departments to implement these inventions and to carry out the public health roadmap, including promoting early detection, diagnosis, reducing risk, and preventing avoidable hospitalizations, increases the collection, analysis, and timely reporting of data on cognitive decline and caregiving to inform future public health actions. I mean, that sounds to me like it's a no-brainer. And it's something we need.
Definitely.
Exactly. We need to take action on this. And San Joaquin County, we have a very diverse population, so we need to have, we're really working hard on our interactions with the Latino community, because African Americans and Latinos are more apt to have Alzheimer's within their families. So as far as education and services that we do for that, we're really putting a lot of emphasis on that in this area as well. I mean, the Alzheimer's Association is a leading voluntary health organization, Alzheimer's care and support, and our vision is a world without Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, put me out of a job. I mean, come on.
That would be awesome.
I don't have any problem retiring, and we want to know that that money that walk raises goes to is the money for the engine. I mean, Walk to End Alzheimer's is the money for the engine for all the Alzheimer's does, whether it's research, whether it's our care and support, the 24-hour hotline, face-to-face support groups, all the stuff that we do as an organization is fueled by that Walk to End Alzheimer's. So if you want to make a difference, if you want to do something against this disease, you need to support that walk.
Definitely.
And I want to go back to one thing. We got a little off subject when we talk about that flower garden, that ceremony with everybody carrying those flowers. If somebody wants to sponsor, that's one sponsorship that is still open for the Stockton Walk. $2,500 will make you the Promise Garden sponsor. Your name and your company or whatever would be associated with every single person that comes to that walk would go to a place where your name and stuff would be, because that would be that flower garden. And the ceremony itself, and then the flower garden at the start and finish line where all the flowers are planted. Each flower is personalized for somebody who goes to the walk. That will be, something that you would put together and you would be the sponsor of. So to me, if you want to let a community know that you care about Alzheimer's, that would be the way to do it, because every single person that's part of that walk will have to go to either that booth to get their flower, or as they come across the finish line, we'll see that beautiful flower garden. So again, if you're a company that wants to say, hey, I want to make a difference, I want to be part of this, we've got that $2,500 Promise Garden sponsorship that's still up for grabs.
How can they do that? Is there a number they can call or specific?
Yeah, please call me or Mary Margaret, but they can probably it's probably easier to get hold of me at this point. My number is 209-606-2441. And we're going to be ordering signs in the next week or so. So we have a couple weeks to be able to find that. So we're hoping. Modesto has theirs, so come on, Stockton, we got to get one for you as well.
And I was just going to give out Congressman McNerney's Stockton office number. Please reach out to him and encourage him to support this important work in Alzheimer's. His office number is 476-8552. And all of this support matters. All of this support makes a difference, especially with knowing in California that 1 in 3 people will be affected.
I know. It's so important. And again, in San Joaquin County, with our diverse population and stuff, it's going to hit us hard. Mm-hmm. And we want to make sure that we're ready in the Central Valley. I know the Alzheimer's Association is ready. We're willing to do the education. We're waiting to put it out there. We just need to make sure that we know that the Stockton area is ready and willing to take it on. And we've got people like Margaret Chappell and all the other wonderful organizations that are out there supporting us already on Walk Day. But if you as an individual, if you want to honor somebody, if you've lost somebody or taken care of somebody, please come out and join us on October 13th. It's such a beautiful, empowering way. And I can honestly tell you, from the 3 years that I've been here, I have seen the huge difference that we have made. I mean, with, calls to the 800 number have gone up over 300%. That means the education and awareness that we're doing is working. And we still have so much work to do. But you know what? We can do it. Stockton, you can do it. Like I say, the most, one of the communities that I work in, you are the most supportive. You're the most caring. You have pride in your community. And from what I see, you're willing to take action. So let's see what we can do. I mean, Stockton's supposed to raise $155,000. I would like to see it more like at 175 or maybe even 200, because our goal is to beat Fresno, right?
Yeah, I think we could do
some friendly competition.
I know. Stockton wants to be the jewel of the Central Valley, not Fresno, Stockton.
Do you need any event volunteers for the day of the event? And also, do you have sponsors that are helping, like with food and other things at the day of the event that you want to give a shout out to?
Absolutely. We could always use more food and more goodies. I know that there are several. I'll just put a shout out to Dot Foods in Modesto. Gave us a big pallet of chips, so we know we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of wonderful chips. But anybody, we know that Starbucks always does our coffee, but we're looking for fruit and orange juice and anything else. If anybody wants to donate donuts or cookies or anything like that for our walkers, we always end up with wonderful bunches of things for people. Water. No, I think Walgreens is giving us water. So thank you. A shout out to Walgreens for supplying the water.
Bars.
Yep, and cereal bars. So there will be really wonderful stuff out there. But anybody who wants to donate anything, please just give a call, and we're more than happy to take it off your hands and to use it. We're so grateful for all the people that come out to the walk and support us. We want them to have a great time. We want them to have a memorable morning, and of course, we want them to come back.
And our presenting sponsor this year is O'Connor Woods. Last year they were not the presenting sponsor. We had a Sarah Care last year, but they're back up to presenting sponsor this year. And O'Connor Woods has been with the walk since day one, and they have really, Scott Sinclair, who's now retired, but he really is invested in a cure for this disease. He's really on the forefront of this area that really saw a vision of supporting the walk and the work that the Alzheimer's Association does. So thank you, O'Connor Woods, and thank you, Scott, for seeing that vision through.
And Don Schimmel and Crystalline, all the wonderful staff out at O'Connor Woods who continue to raise money and do amazing things. I know O'Connor Woods has got their team going, and so I'm looking. So they always have some great monies and wonderful things coming out of O'Connor Woods. So.
They're going to have some bingo night fundraisers, I hear, and we're doing a spaghetti dinner fundraiser September 20th to hope to bring about $2,500. Our goal is to sell 200 tickets. So
awesome.
I think our teams are starting to get rocking and rolling.
Yeah, they are. We're that's what's exciting. The momentum's starting to build, and we really like seeing that. We're feeling the shake when we come. Lucky You Tattoo in Manteca is having a fundraiser. When's the date on that?
I believe it's at the end of this month.
But we can get that.
The 29th, yeah.
But I think it's the end of the month. And if anybody who likes to rock a tattoo and they want, what are they called? A
flash tattoo.
A flash tattoo that has to do with Alzheimer's. They're giving 100% of the funds towards their Alzheimer's team. And if you want a specialized tattoo, they will give a portion of that to the Alzheimer's walk as well, but you have to make a special appointment for that one, if I'm correct. But they do amazing, beautiful work. If you like tattoos, we can get you the information to support Lucky You Tattoo for the fundraiser that they have coming up for their walk team.
Awesome. Excellent.
And we also have Music for Alzheimer's is having their barbecue.
Yes. On the night of the walk.
Yeah.
And last year they raised
$14,000.
Wow. And they hit us over our goal.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they're an amazing group in Manteca. So we have a lot of support from all over San Joaquin County.
Georgianne Rose and her team at the Music for Alzheimer's raised $14,000, but Stockton over their goal last year. And their rib and they're having ribs this year and something else, but they always have a really good show. Silent auctions,
Where is
comedians. It's going to be at the. It's in Manteca at the Portuguese Hall, and we can get you the information that as well. It's on the 13th. Its tickets are $45, and it's a great show, great food, and just amazing people. And they, raise a lot of money for us here in San Joaquin County. So we're appreciative for them as well.
Excellent. And that's what it takes. It takes multiple organizations and people coming together because this is such a big issue.
I know. It's like 1 in 3, there's not anybody that's not going to be untouched by this disease. And so, again, in San Joaquin County, the way to take a stand and make a difference is to support the Walk to End Alzheimer's. This year, we're looking for, over 110 teams, I believe.
And earlier you were talking about the flower garden and carrying the flower, and I can say personally how breathtaking it is not only to see everyone carrying a flower when you start the walk, but at the end of the walk you plant the flower in the garden, and to see all the flowers together, it's just beautiful and it's serene and it's breathtaking.
And it's like, and what's really eye-opening to me is like having, going, you see everybody during this promise garden for the flower ceremony, and you see like basically over 1,000 people, and every single person is holding up one of these flowers, and you can tell by the color, where they are in their journey. You see these people with blue flowers and your heart just breaks. You see so many of the purple hat flowers for people that have lost, and you see people carrying multiple flowers. They've lost somebody and they still have somebody else going, and it's just really moving. And this year we're looking for over 1,000 participants. We're looking for 120 teams, and we're looking to raise over $155,000. We're 40% there, and so we have 5 weeks to pump that up. And you guys are already quaking. We got a bunch of money that hasn't posted yet that is going to put us a little bit even higher. So we're really proud of the Stockton community and Mary Margaret and her team and all the amazing stuff that they're doing. Stockton, San Joaquin County has so much to be proud of.
Yes.
So much to be proud of.
Yes. And please give the information again to sign up. Where do you go to sign up?
alz.org/Stockton 2018.
And there's a nifty app once you get registered that you could download on your phone, where you could direct message friends and family with a link to your page. That's generally how I do most of my fundraising. My goal is always over $1,000. So my sister donated $250 the other day. And she said, send it to me again. When it gets closer, I'll do it again. So,
yay. That's
yes,
so cool.
so we're, in my family, we have a great aunt that did pass away from the disease. So it is something that we're all committed to find.
And I have an uncle that passed away from the disease.
It's like I say, when those statistics don't make it any easier, it's going to become more and more common, unfortunately. But we'll be ready in San Joaquin. We'll be ready, hopefully. So yeah. So guys, October 13th, Stockton Walk to End Alzheimer's, Weber's Point.
8 a.m. registration opens. Ceremony starts at 9.
Exactly.
And you can get a T-shirt if you raise.
If you raise $100, you earn your 2018 walk shirt. And our whole goal is to have a sea of purple. So when we see that walk, when you see people all over, everybody's going to have that purple shirt on, and it says Stockton, and it says Walk to End Alzheimer's, and people will know. And together, it says together we do make a difference. And so that's what it takes, is all of us coming together to make that difference. And again, any amount is important. So whether you have $5, $10, or you have the $100 to earn your shirt, the $500 to be a champion, or the $1,000 to become a grand champion, every single penny goes to making a difference here in this area. So that's what's really important. So come out and see us.
And last year, Stockton ranked very high as far as dollars per walker.
Yeah.
We do people who do join us and who are committed, and they do go out and fundraise a lot of money. We're really good in that department.
Yeah, we have people who don't raise any money, and that's fine. They're coming to check things out and they're supporting. But then we have the people like the Henrys and the Teresa Mandelas and the Doris Sallies, who go above and beyond, who really make up the big part of who we are and what we do as San Joaquin County. So we're proud to have them as well, and teams that do huge amounts as well. So.
And do you have any kind of setup? Let's say that someone over a year's time would like to do $1,000, but they can't do that all at once. Do you have anything where they can donate every month X amount?
But, you know, actually you can, because we have until December 31st for money to go towards the Stockton Walk. So say, for instance, if you came on the 13th and you raised only $100, but you wanted to make that Grand Champions, and every month after that you're able to put some money in. If you get it in before December 31st, you will still get that Grand Champions t-shirt. You will still get that medal, and it all counts towards the Stockton Walk. So yeah, I mean, we've got people who started at the beginning of the year giving $100 a month, and have got so yeah,
that's awesome.
It all counts, and we have until December 31st.
And we usually do our thank you party in early December, November, for all our sponsors, our walkers, our top teams, our top fundraisers. And I mean, the walk doesn't end on October 13th. I say it just begins.
It's a year round.
It is.
It's a year round thing, project. And that's why I want to give a shout out again to our committee, Mary Margaret, who is our chair, and Leslie and Doris and Steve and June and Harry and Kevin and our amazing committee, and of course Doris, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but
and Dawn Schimmel and Crystalline.
Yep, exactly.
Chief from O'Connor Woods, and we have Jane our
Blecko.
Little fire, our little
our little food
firecracker.
Yeah, exactly. And these people work year round to pull off one single day. So I mean, gosh, hats off to the committee, the people who are so committed. They give parts of their life year round for basically one single day, but it's important because it's that day that's going to give the education and awareness and show Stockton to be the star that it is.
And we have a great time.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful event.
Anybody's welcome to join our committee at any time.
Mm-hmm. We always need the help, and even if you have ideas or thoughts on ways you think we can improve, or hey, I have a friend who can possibly do this or that, please give us a call and let us know. We're like open to everything and anything to make it bigger and better in any way.
Yeah, and you could also volunteer through the ALZ.org site, through our Stockton Walk, and there's a area there where you could request to volunteer for the day of, and it's very specific. It asks you what kind of role you're comfortable doing. So Alzheimer's Association actually thinks of everything. So
good,
we're in good shape.
And we have the school that's over by Wellbe Health, and it's the medical school. There's a high school that is over that. It's all high school kids that want to go into the medical field. This amazing school, they're going to have a huge team. They said possibly close to 200.
Wow.
That's
awesome.
Exactly. And I'm wearing their bracelet, and they have, it says passion on it because that's their HCA, Healthcare Academy.
Yeah.
And that's them. And their teachers and stuff out there. What an amazing group. And I think it's just amazing that it exists, because that means that the county is aware that there's going to be a need for health professionals, and they're taking these kids from all areas and giving them the opportunity to build a career on something that they're going to need within the county. So this wonderful,
it's a win-win.
Exactly, and they're going to have a huge team. They're going to be some of our main volunteers for the day of. And they're collecting money, and they have a Hope Grid that's going to be part of extra credit. So we're
hopefully all of them do it.
I know. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah. If you have a team of 200 people, and if they just all raise just $10, I mean, if you're a kid, that's like giving up your Starbucks for one day. That's $2,000. That's a lot of money, guys. So it's like, be a hero.
Grand champion.
Exactly. Be a hero, not a zero. I mean, that's...
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
I know, but I don't say it to this. But it. We've got some of the things in the stories we hear are so beautiful, and you have a little kid that comes up and gives you 83 cents of their money that they collected to honor their grandfather. I mean, that money means as much as somebody who can write a big check. And the stories and the families, and it's just an amazing thing. And I'm so proud to be part of San Joaquin and this walk, because it has taught me so many lessons, all good. I've seen the way a community can work together and do amazing things. I can see what can happen when there are no barriers and people work together with the end in sight and no egos. And Stockton, you have so much to be proud of, and glad to be here. And we know that the 2018 Stockton Walk is going to be bigger and more beautiful than ever.
Well, and I just want to reach out and thank both of you, not only for being here today, but for all of the effort that you're doing to fight for people in our community that can't fight for themselves. And it amazes me to hear that you're in 3 cities back and forth all the time, trying to generate money for such an important health issue. And Mary Margaret, you're on the front lines. You're helping people every day dealing with medical problems. And it's just phenomenal that we have so many wonderful people coming together, and Leslie and Henry and the other people that you mentioned. And it's exciting to see this grow. And it's exciting to know that together we're making a difference.
I know, we are. And that's what's been the most powerful, to see the growth in the last couple of years, to know what that money is doing, and to know the growth in this particular area has just been something so
I'm
proud
excited.
to be part of.
And I'm not only excited for this year, but I'm excited to see what we could do to 2020, because I do feel like it's going to exponentially grow, where we could potentially be a $500,000
and have a cure,
area,
and have the person with the white flower,
Yes.
multiple people with
Exactly.
white flowers.
Exactly.
Yes.
We don't want to have the one. We want that white flower to be something that's a reality, not just a thought. And and we can do it, Stockton. We can do it.
We're showing it. Together we can do it.
Yep, together we do. We do make a difference. Together we do make a difference.
All right. And with that, I'm going to sign off. I am the voice of Stockton. You are the voice of Stockton. We are the voice of Stockton. Let's make it a great day.